Welcome to Brave Voice English. Listen, read, and learn English with short stories. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin.
Simple wish. In a quiet village surrounded by green hills, tall trees, and gentle rivers, there lived a little girl named Lena. She was only 8 years old but had the biggest, kindest heart anyone had ever known. Her eyes were like shiny marbles, full of wonder, full of dreams. Lena lived with her grandmother in a small wooden house at the very end of the village. The roof was old and the walls were cracked, but it was filled with love and warmth. Flowers grew in front of the house, and birds sang in the trees nearby. Every morning, Lena would wake up to the smell of rice porridge and the sound of chickens clucking in the yard. Her parents had passed away when she was just a baby. Lena didn't remember them. All she knew was what her grandmother told her, stories about how kind her father was and how gently her mother used to sing lullabies. Though they were poor, Lena never felt unloved. Her grandmother, whom she called Nai, gave her hugs every morning and every night. Nai would always say, "We may not have much, my dear Lena, but we have each other. That is enough." Lena believed her. Every day, Lena helped Nai with everything. She woke up early to sweep the floor. She fed the chickens and helped in the small vegetable garden behind their house. Sometimes she would carry water from the village well. The bucket was heavy, but Lena never complained. When she went to school, she wore the same blue dress every day. It had been patched so many times that the original fabric was almost gone. But she always kept it clean. Her shoes were old and worn out. The soles had holes, and sometimes her toes peeked out. In rainy season, her feet were always wet. Still, she smiled and kept walking. At school, Lena sat at the front of the class. She listened carefully to her teacher, Miss Dara, who always said Lena had a clever mind. Even though she didn't have her own books, she would borrow them from friends and copy notes by hand. When other students talked about the things they had, phones, new bags, snacks, Lena just listened quietly. She didn't envy them. She was happy with what she had. But she did have one little dream. One cold night, as she lay on her thin mattress looking through the wooden window, the sky was full of stars. The moonlight came into the room softly. Her grandmother was already asleep, snoring gently. Lena whispered, as if talking to the stars, "I wish I could have a new pair of shoes. Just one pair without holes." She closed her eyes and held the wish in her heart, like a secret. The next morning, Lena woke up and stretched. Her legs were cold, but she smiled. The chickens were clucking again, and the smell of porridge filled the air. She got up, folded her blanket, and walked barefoot across the wooden floor. Her old shoes waited by the door. Before putting them on, she looked at them for a long moment. Then she slipped them on carefully and went to help Nai. "Good morning, Nai," she said. "Good morning, my sweet girl," Nai replied. "You look happy today." "I made a wish last night," Lena said. Nai raised her eyebrows. "A wish?" "Yes. I wished for new shoes." Nai smiled, but her eyes became a little sad. She stirred the porridge slowly. "A simple wish," she said. "And sometimes, the simplest wishes take the longest to come true. But don't give up." Lena nodded. She trusted her grandmother. That day at school, Lena tried not to limp. Her foot had a small blister, but she kept going. During break, Miss Dara noticed Lena sitting alone, looking at her shoes. Miss Dara quietly walked over. "Lena, are your shoes hurting your feet?" she asked kindly. Lena looked up and gave a small smile. "A little, but I'm okay, teacher." Miss Dara didn't say anything more. She just patted Lena's shoulder. Later that evening, after school, Miss Dara spoke to the village leader, Mr. Rith. He was an old man with kind eyes who always carried a walking stick. "She's such a bright student," Miss Dara said. "And all she wants is a pair of shoes." Mr. Rith nodded. "Leave it to me." Over the next few days, something special started to happen, but Lena didn't know it. The village people began to talk. The woman at the market gave Nai extra vegetables. The neighbor gave some rice. A shoe seller from a nearby town agreed to donate a brand new pair of shoes, just the right size. And all this happened without Lena knowing. Back at home, Lena kept helping, kept smiling, and kept believing. Each night she looked at the stars and whispered her simple wish again. One sunny afternoon, Lena walked home from school slowly. Her feet hurt, and her old shoes made flapping sounds on the dirt road. When she reached her small wooden house, Nye was standing at the door, holding a small box tied with string. "What's that?" Lena asked, surprised. Nye smiled and said, "A gift for you." "For me?" Lena's eyes grew wide. "But, why? Open it, dear." Lena slowly untied the string and opened the box. Inside was a pair of white canvas shoes with red laces. They were simple, but they were new, so clean, so perfect. She touched them gently, as if they were made of gold. "Are they really, for me?" she asked softly. "Yes," Nye said, her eyes shining. "Your teacher, some kind neighbors, and even a stranger from the next town all helped." Lena held the shoes close to her chest. Her heart felt warm. Tears came to her eyes, but she smiled. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you so much." That night, Lena placed the shoes beside her bed and stared at them like they were stars that had fallen from the sky. Then she looked out the window again. "I only asked for shoes," she whispered to the stars, "but I got so much more. I got kindness. I got love." The stars twinkled, as if they were smiling back. The next morning, Lena wore her new shoes to school. She walked with joy in her steps. Her classmates noticed right away. "Wow, new shoes. They look nice. Where did you get them?" Lena smiled, but she didn't boast. She just said, "Kind people helped me. That's all." That day, she studied even harder. She raised her hand in class. She helped others who needed help. Miss Dara saw her and smiled. "She's not just wearing new shoes," she whispered to herself. "She's wearing confidence." Lena's story spread through the village. People started looking out for one another more. Children began sharing more at school. Some neighbors brought food to other poor families. The village, once quiet and tired, started to glow with warmth. All because of one simple wish. 10 years passed. Lena was no longer a little girl. She was now a young woman. She had worked hard, won a scholarship, and become a teacher just like Miss Dara. She returned to her village to teach children, including many who came from poor families, just like she once did. She wore a simple dress and comfortable shoes. In her desk drawer, she kept a photo of herself as a child, holding the white shoes with red laces. Whenever a student needed help, she remembered how it felt. Whenever a child whispered a simple wish, she listened. Because she knew. Sometimes, the smallest wish can lead to the biggest change.